Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, the internet people. We're back again in Bulembe Farm. So I've got Sifiso and Dan. Danny, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me to your farm.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Viewers out there, they're gonna learn about goat farming. Right.
Or dry leaves or dry lucerne to improve on the protein content. So what we do, we fill the pit with dry matter, and then we mix mabiko or urea in water with salt and molasses, and we pour it in. We compact as if we are making silage, but it's not really silage because the matter is dry. But it's to make it a better quality nutritionally for our animals. So that's what we are doing here. Because of all this drought, we've had to come up with different plans of keeping our animals
innovative.
Yeah. So that's what I wanted to explain, that yes, we could be swimming in here, but it's not going to pay the bills.
You're right, 100%.
Yes.
You're being innovative. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. But otherwise, you dig a pit.
Yeah. That's thinking out of the box.
Yes. So that's what I wanted to say. No, that's what I want to say. That there's food there. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, it's food there for the animals.
So we're back again at Bulembe Farm. So with me here I've got Sifiso, the managing director of Bulembe Farm, and Dan is the husband to Sifiso. How are you, Dan?
I'm fine, GK. Thanks for coming to see us.
Thank you. So I understand you're from Ghana.
Yes, I'm from Ghana.
Which region?
I'm from the Volta region, a small town along the Atlantic Ocean called Angloga.
Wow, nice. Married to our sister in Zimbabwe.
Yes.
Matabele girl.
Yes.
Wow. So what inspired you to start goat farming?
Is that for me or for Daniel?
It's you.
Okay. We came across goats almost by accident. When we set out farming, goats were not within our plan. We started with the chickens, the broiler chickens, which I won't go into detail, but for people who really want to know the story, we can direct them where they can find the story about what happens to the chicken venture. Needless to say, it was a bit of a disaster.
Okay.
So from there, I vowed never to touch anything with feathers. So we moved on to crops, and as we were cropping, we were hit by a drought, very similar to what is happening now. We ran out of water, and now we were thinking, oh my goodness, what on earth are we going to do? Do we shut down the farm, or do we find a plan B? And I think this is the point where I can hand over Daniel, because he's the one that found the goats.
Okay. Over to you, Dan.
Yeah, as Sifiso said, we ran out of water, and we didn't know whether we could continue with the farming and all of that. But since we started this journey, we always like to do research. So one evening I was doing research. I think this was 2018.
Yes, towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I was doing research to see what else we can do. Then I came across a video done by a gentleman who used to live in the UK and then moved to Uganda, where he came from. He was, speaking to one of the advisors to their president. He was answering questions. So he was speaking very highly of goat farming.
Wow.
And the lady who was interviewing him said, how profitable is goat farming? So he used, I enjoy anything to do with figures.
Yes.
So he was saying, look, goat farming is actually lucrative than going to a real estate. Yeah. And then he went on to say that, for example, in Kampala, instead of going to a bank and taking a loan building your offices, goat farming can actually, the return from goat farming can actually give you capital to go into real estate. Yeah.
Wow.
So he did that, and he gave some figures. So when I know, as I was watching, I know when I'm doing such things, I take notes.
Yes.
So when he finished talking about the figures and all of that, I went to calculate myself. Then I thought, okay, this is great. So I quickly communicated with Sifiso. And then that time, we were on this farming platforms, and then by chance, sometimes when you're looking for something, everything seems to happen around the same time.
That's right.
Yeah,
It all comes together.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I saw somebody selling goats in Bulawayo. Yeah, and that person eventually became our friend, but unfortunately he passed on not long ago. So I tried and got his number. Then I messaged him that, look, we are looking for goats, blah blah blah. Yeah.
Correction.
Yeah.
He said, I am looking for goats.
We.
Because by the time it all came to me, it was like, I bought 9 goats.
Yes, okay, I forgot. Yeah, I bought 9 goats, but I didn't pay. I just said, I was communicating with the gentleman. Yes, so I said, no, I bought 9 goats. And that's when he knew. But she knew, but then I thought she wasn't sure. I could see that she wasn't sure. But to me, those figures the Uganda man gave to me, nothing else can convince me otherwise. So anyway, so 2019, I think it was in January. So I came, and then we went to see this gentleman in town. Then we went to his farm, and he had so many goats. There, what's the name called, the place?
In Susa.
Yeah, he has so many goats. So when we saw that, I thought, that's it. So we bought 9 goats to start with. Yeah, and then I hope I can add this bit. When we want to do this project and we think we have to have big money before we start, for us going to goat, we didn't. What I used to do is, when I get paid, I have £100, £200. I used to send it to Sifiso, and then we go and buy goats. That's how we did it. Gradually building up our numbers, and so that's how we got here.
Yeah, there we are. That's a beautiful story.
Thank you.
Right. So I'm going to show you the goats. These are the goats. And what type of goats are these?
So in this pen we have a mixture of goats, but basically you can call them our high value. I call them my high value goats. Hence that's why they are so close to the house.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah. So we have a mixture here. Our core business in goat breeding is cross breeding. Yes. So what we do, we use our Matabele and cross them either with a Kalahari red or a Boer male. So that's what we do. That's the core of our business. But we do have a small herd of pure breeds, pure Kalahari ladies and pure Boer ladies. So in this herd we have those few Boer ladies, we have a few Kalahari red ladies, and some crosses. So we have some crosses, some F1s, called F1s in here, and a few F2s.
They rely on
we have lunch here at the Bulembe Farm. It's lunch hour. It's time to fill our tanks. Our tanks are low, so keep it locked. See you at the next one.
Maybe I'm thinking of like how you make like how you would ferment for sour porridge.
Lunch here at the Bulembe Farm.
For fermenting. And then
so it can be 3 days, but if there is heat,
just like our sour porridge. And then you cook it, that mixture, and you thicken it, isn't it? You cook it until it's quite cooked. You thicken it, whereas we would eat it as soft porridge, isn't it? But you thicken it like how you thicken sadza.
Like sadza.
Yes. And then do you let it cool before molding? You let it cool. After it's cooled, you mold and wrap in this maize. Is it maize leaves?
If it's not maize season, where do I get them from?
You can use cling film.
use cling.
Yes.
Sorry guys, I missed the other part.
Right.
What are you talking
We're
about?
saying that this is Ghanaian sadza. It's fermented. It's
Kenke.
called
I've heard of that.
Yes, kenke.
Okay.
It's fermented. So I was explaining the process that you ferment, like how we would ferment millimel to prepare sour porridge. But the only difference is that this one, when you cook it, you thicken it to sadza consistency. Then you let it cool. Then you mold it and wrap it up like in cling film or maize. Do you call this maize leaves? What is it? I don't know. Yeah. And you steam it.
Wow.
Yeah. And then it can last for a long time. How long can it last?
This like how they've vacuum pack it.
Yeah, vacuum pack. Yeah. No air goes in.
No air goes in. That can last you over a month.
So.
And you just warm it up. But unfortunately here I got a bit overzealous and warmed it up too much. So it's got like a hard.
So there we are guys, we're trying kenke.
Kenke.
It's like what do you call sadza or fufu? Is it fufu?
No, sadza.
Oh, it's different from fufu. Huh? So we call it sadza here in Zimbabwe. And in Kenya they call it ugali. And in Zambia, in Tsima. In South Africa, pap. So here in Ghana they call it kenke. Am I right?
Yeah, kenke. Yes.
So it's the fermented version of sadza, but the normal sadza is called. Is that the akple?
Yeah, in my language it's called akple.
Okay.
Wow, nice. So I'm gonna try the kenke.
Fermented sadza.
Fermented sadza. Wow. So we're gonna have lunch here.
The Zim staple.
The Zim. Ladies first.
The Zim staple.
So do you love our sadza?
Oh yes. Yes.
So you don't miss kenke?
No. And then I ate this pita.
This is goat meat. Stewed goat.
How do you call the vegetables?
Umpita.
Yeah.
The vegetables.
Yeah,
Chomoli. Muriwo. Yeah, that's skoma wiki in Kenya.
What do you call it?
Skoma wiki.
Skoma wiki. Skoma.
Wiki. Kill the week.
And we have
so what are we having here, Sifiso?
Amatumbu embuzi.
Amatumbu embuzi.
Yeah, embuzi.
Wow. And
Goat meat.
Yeah, there's goat meat.
And this goat meat.
Yes.
And the rice. And our staple food, salad.
Yes.
And kenke.
Yes.
Some soup. Let's enjoy. Bon appetit. Let's dig in. Let's dig in. There we are, guys. We are having a nice lunch here at Bulembe Farm. So Danny, what are you having?
I'm having chola, a bit of goat meat, chicken. Yeah, I think that's.
And matumbu. Are you not having matumbu embuzi?
Yes, I am having, and then with vegetables.
Vegetables. Huh?
Umpita.
Yeah. And Sifiso, what are you having?
I had a bit of kenke. Amatumbu, which I've demolished already.
They're lovely, huh?
Umpita and goat meat.
Wow. Wow. And Lucy, what are you having?
I also had kenke, chicken, amatumbu, and imbus.
And rice, huh?
Yeah.
So Judaism is having kenke, matumbu, we call them rinyenze, goat meat, a bit of chicken, and sadza. So I'm gonna try kenke for the first time. Let's enjoy. Thank you guys. So I see you got a lot of white goats.
Yes.
What type are they?
So these are like this goats that have been crossbred with the Boer or Kalahari. Yeah.
Wow.
So before we were talking about F1s, F2s.
That's right.
Yeah, they are the ones here.
Oh, nice.
And it's we were saying earlier that because they are high, these are like high value
Goats.
So that's why they kept it closer to the house.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Don't you love our beautiful sunset?
Yes, yes. Wow. Yeah, sometimes there's a small balcony there, the homestead.
Yeah.
When you sit there, you can be able to see everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a nice environment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes when all the during the rain season, when you can sometimes see some game animals walking.
Wow, is it?
Yes.
They just come from nowhere?
Yes.
Oh, so what sort of type of animals do you see?
Kudus.
Kudus? Wow, so they don't eat your tomatoes and...
we do have problems with...
the animals. Wild animals.
Wild pigs in the night.
Yeah.
They will come, eat maize, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Farm life. What a beautiful farm life we have here. So let me see Lucerne.
Yes, we are going down to
Wow. Right, so where are we going, Sifiso?
We're now going down to what we call the main herd. So at this time of the day, that's when we do the head count, just to make sure that everyone came back from the bush.
Wow.
Yes.
There we are, guys. Keep it logged. Let's go and see. Don't you enjoy our beautiful sunset? I'm loving it. Wow. Farm life. I'm loving farm life here. So we're getting into the workshop, huh? This is the workshop.
Like a garage.
A garage, yeah. We call it a workshop. Yeah.
This is a garage.
It's Richard.
Oh, it's Richard. Oh, shame.
So you see, you got trucks, you got tractors, and you got that's Lucerne, isn't it?
Lucerne.
Lucerne. Good evening. It's now good evening, guys. Welcome back to my channel. My name is GK. Follow me on GKZM here. On GKZM. With me here, I've got Richard. Richard, how are you, man? Where are we, Richard?
We are now at Bulembe.
Bulembe,
and this is our Lucerne that we are producing. Siyalungisa Lucerne. Siyalima Lucerne ensimini eBulembe. It's for our livestock. My livestock sila ngapha embuzi lenkomo. So we are focusing uhlanyela kuhle Lucerne and for also for on sale for other guys.
Wow.
So ngizahlanganisa ngesinebele ngesikhiwa just in case.
Yes. So what do you feed your goats? And how do you ensure they get proper nutrition?
So our goats definitely they eat our Lucerne, as you can see.
Wow.
It's in the barn, it's here on the truck, it's in the pens. So our goats are looking very nice. Well, Sifiso's goats. Mina ngilimi Lucerne yodwa. So imbuzi kaSifiso. This is mine. So I make sure that the quality is good and izinto zonke zihamba kuhle ensimini.
Wow. Yeah. Nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for your time. So what's happening now?
So now what we're doing is a head count, which is something that we do every evening to make sure that each and every goat is accounted for and that it's returned from the veld. Because out there, there's all sorts of predators, the four-legged ones and the two-legged ones. Yes, so we have to make sure all the goats are back. So we count them
every day. You do that?
Every day we do this, yes.
And then you write down?
Yes. how many.
How many?
Yes. How many returned? How many are missing?
Are missing.
If any are missing. Yeah.
So do you normally miss some?
It does happen. It's not normally, but we had an incident a month or two ago where we had quite a number stolen.
All right, let's go and show the viewers how
Yeah.
you do it. So the head count will start, right?
Yes. So what happens there is that they have to maintain a very tight hold of the gate so that they can literally count them one by one.
One by one.
Yes.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Wow. And they come, huh? So these are waiting for the head count.
They're waiting for their turn to be counted.
So every day you do this, huh?
Yes, we have to do this every day.
Taking stock.
Yes, yes.
So that they don't.
Although this is not proper taking stock,
Okay.
but it's just a general head count.
Yeah.
And then on dipping days, that's when we do a proper stock check. That's when we actually mark the register according to the tag number. Now we're just doing head count.
Yes. Yeah, then that means there's something missing. Then we need to investigate.
So the head
Is done.
done.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, this is the first time I'm seeing the main herd since I came back. I've been away, as you know. And I must say, I'm very pleased, ladies. Well done. The goats are looking good. So you've been looking after them very well. Well done.
Ladies and gents, isn't it? Gents there.
The gent is for the cattle.
Oh,
So I'm here to inspect the cattle. I like the way he's standing there. I said, obviously, I said, oh, mama. I went up and yeah, they do help us with the head count.
So we were talking about, mostly your workers, the women.
Yes.
What is the reason of you involving the women in terms of taking care of the goats?
What I noticed is that the women are very patient, especially during our kidding season, because our kids are prophets. So sometimes some mothers don't have enough milk and they need time to be fed, or the mother needs time to be coaxed to feed her kid. And I noticed that women spend to give quite a bit of time, enough time to make sure that the kid is fed. And they'll be very concerned, especially if they notice that a kid is not feeding, they'll be naturally concerned. And I think that's the natural maternal instinct.
That's right. Beautiful, whatever. And am I one of course, eh? Nice. Thank you.
No. But all Baba Bakona, they've got their jobs, you know. Enkomeni.
I need to hear that sound again.
1, 2, 3. Meh.
Some are fighting over there.
113.
113. So you didn't lose any today?
Zikwanile.
Zikwanile.
Oh yes, that's right. 114, and we killed one here.
So look at the babies, eh? Wow. So what type of goats are these? Kalahari and Boers and Matabele babies, eh? And how many do you have here? Mane mangan? So, Mangan? 73. Wow. So, can you tell me more about the babies? Yeah?
Okay, so these are technically these are no longer babies, but they are our youngest.
The youngest.
Herd. They are winners. They've been weaned. So we separate the boys from the girls. Small as they are, there's always the risk of inbreeding. They can start mating, with each other. Because some are 5 months, some are 4 months, some are 5 months. Yes. So a goat can be sexually reproductive as early as that, but it's not right. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. So we separate them. These are the girls. Yeah, these are the girls.
All the girls, eh?
Yeah, all these are girls.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Blue.
There's a blue, huh?
Yes. So next week we need.
I'm loving this. Where do you want to go?
The boys will be moving to town next week because we don't castrate them. We don't castrate any of them, so we have to physically remove them from their sisters to stop them breeding with their sisters. We don't encourage that in goat farms. No, or in any livestock.
Yeah.
Production inbreeding is not desirable.
Yeah.
Although I understand there may be circumstances where you may inbreed, but I think it requires somebody who really knows what they are doing and what they want to achieve.
You must be quarreling with
randomly,
someone.
I think it's a bit of a disaster, really. Yeah.
Wow, nice, huh?
This is
You're talking about the bedroom.
Boy.
bedrooms.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
The girls sleep on their own. So this is the little girl's bedroom,
Yeah?
and this is the little boy's bedroom. So they're going to bring in the little boys now into their
they
bedroom.
should be, yes,
The little
right.
boys, huh?
Actually, they are for our son, Kwame.
Danny, I'm noticing something, the separation of sheep from the goats. What can you tell us more about what's happening here for the sheep?
Well, sheep, they are generally not, how do I describe them? They are not active like goats. Yeah.
They are not problematic.
But they're not problematic. They are very,
They're just docile.
they're docile, so they're easy to control.
Yeah.
Probably.
But ours coexist. They share spaces. Yeah, we don't separate as such. Yeah, if it's necessary, they share spaces. Yeah.
So in terms of diseases, they don't.
We treat them the same because they tend to have the similar disease profile. So we do all the routine treatments at the same time. If we are vaccinating, we vaccinate absolutely the same drugs at the same time. So we treat them the same. Yeah.
So how many of these do you have?
We have 23 adults
23 adults.
and 23 babies. Yeah. We would like to resuscitate him.
You see this truck here, it's called the Toyota Hilux. One of the strongest tractors on the land, Toyota. I love this. There's a story.
Yeah, so they live in their house, the other farm I was showing you.
On the evening.
Okay.
When it's not hot.
Yeah.
Because that's when they're most active.
Yeah. So thina soze sifaka ama traps.
Ama-trap akhona?
Akhona ama trap
Ama-trap akhona
anga.
sibili?
Thina sijayela akhanyayo anga.
Oh, those ones. So those ones are a sticky trap.
Yes.
They just to assess your population in the field.
Okay.
So we will put those, but we're also assessing population by walking through and checking.
All right.
Doing
Doing scouting.
Scouting. And we've also got water traps with pheromones in, so you can actually see what's in there.
Kuyawela phakathi.
They come and they sniff the pheromone and they fall inside. Then they can't get out again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what we've got in there.
Okay.
And it's good to spray at night because they're more active and they lay their eggs at night. They don't lay eggs in the day.
Yes.
So it's good to hit the eggs whilst they're
While-
still
yeah.
wet. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
excellent.
the best time. Yeah.
So Richard, I like the way you Kuluma and Matabele.
Yeah, Baba.
This is Richard, he's a Matabele boy. And he is fluent. Yeah. What do you want to say? Can you say something?
Bulawayo.
Bulawayo.
Wow.
Hi, not kancane, Richard.
You grew up in Bulawayo, educated in Bulawayo. Yeah. Tawara ini chindebele.
Tawara ini chindebele.
Nice.
Hi, Richard. Night guarding. What? No. Because they work at night. Yes.
Tell us more about drip irrigation and what sort of type of crops are you
We've planted here. So here we've put tomatoes, the bush tomato. We're not going to trellis, but it's the one that's going to grow and just kind of, in a bush.
Wow.
Yeah, not the hybrid tall ones that need trellising.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
So let's have a look. So this is the drip irrigation.
This is the drip irrigation.
And how many hectares of tomatoes did you plant here?
4 hectares.
4 hectares.
Yes. Yes. But the whole section is 7 hectares, but we only planted 4. Yeah.
Nice, huh? Beautiful. Good evening, guys. We're back again at Bulembe Farm. With me here, we've got Sifiso. So I'm going to ask some questions about goat breeding. Sifiso, we're back again. Now, what breed of goats do you raise and why do you choose them?
Okay. Here behind me, we have what we call our main herd. I think I mentioned that earlier. So the main herd is made up of Matabele goats and their children, known as F1s. So basically, our core business is crossbreeding. Yes, we are not yet pure breeders. So what we do, we acquire Matabeles and we use a pure breed Boer and a pure breed Kalahari Red. So we breed these with our female Matabeles to produce the F1s.
Wow.
And then our F1 babies, we find another buck, not their father, another pure buck, to breed them to produce F2s, and so on and so on and so on, until we get to the point of pure breeding. Right at the homestead, we've got a handful of pure breeds that we bought. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So those who want to get into goat farming, what are the essential things someone should know before starting goat farming?
Right. Before starting goat farming, I would say it's very important to get at least some basic knowledge, get some training. I had a terrible experience when I went into something that I didn't know about. I went into chicken keeping or rearing 10,000 chickens with no clue, and it was a disaster. So from then on, I realized just how important it is to immerse yourself in the knowledge and experience by visiting people who are already doing it, attending training. I'm not saying come to my training alone, but there are lots of people who can give aspiring breeders the opportunity to learn.
Over to you then. What are some common challenges in goat farming and how do you overcome them?
For me, or what I've learned, there are 4 key things in any form of animal husbandry. The first one is nutrition. And the second is health. Third, management. And then the fourth one,
Markets.
Market.
Yeah.
So those are the things, and they can be in the absence of any of those. It can be challenging. It can be challenging. So things like nutrition, health, you need to be on top of it.
So what advice would you give to someone interested in starting a goat farm?
My advice from our experience, I would say first start small Yeah, start small. Even if it's with 10 goats, start small, then learn, and then you gradually scale up. Yeah.
We started with 9.
Yes.
9.
Yeah.
And we
So-
brought,
Wow.
we grew the herd slowly.
Wow.
And then also, just to add that, we live in a world whereby we think you can start something today, then tomorrow you are swimming in money.
Yeah.
From my personal experience, that's not how it is. Yes, you build it up slowly, and that comes, your knowledge base also grows up with it. And in a way, too, you are challenging yourself so that your ability to handle things on a bigger scale, when you really get up there, everything become a breeze.
That's right.
Yeah, but if you want to have everything all at once, then you can't start. So start small.
Wow.
If you start small,
Right.
you eventually get bigger. And so starting small, it also gives you the confidence to do it. You don't delay, because sometimes we want to do project, but you keep thinking, oh, I'm not ready and all that. But if you have 2 goats, you should be ready
You
to
can
look
start.
after it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
to me, anybody who wants to get into it, that's hard, but anyone can do it. We are not special.
Yeah.
We also learn.
That's right.
So everybody out there who wants to go on this journey, my word or advice to you is you can do it. Just believe in yourself. Yeah.
Very true.
Sifiso,
Yes.
back to you.
Yes.
What's your favorite thing about working with goats?
Oh my goodness. I'm going to say absolutely everything.
Yeah.
But for me, it's the kidding season. I love that's my favorite time of the year, when we have kids. You see them being born, you see them grow and develop. It's like watching a human kid, really. And the care and the principles are very much, similar.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can I add something
Yes,
to that?
yes, yeah, go.
What I also like about animal husbandry, I mean, I know people talk about the stock market.
Yeah.
You buy shares and
Yeah.
you grow up. But your goat, they are your stock.
That's right.
You can see it grow.
That's right.
It's such a joy. You get up in the morning, or like those goats out there now, in the morning or during the night, you have kids out there. There's nothing compared to that level that's your stock market.
That's right.
So again, to my fellow Africans, that's our stock market.
Sifiso,
Yes.
back to you again.
Okay.
How do you handle seasonal challenges? How do you handle seasonal changes like extreme heat or cold on the farm?
Okay. Let me start with the cold. We do have a kidding season in April. So by the time the cold hits, which is around June, July, they are still babies. So on extremely cold nights, we do actually provide like fires, ambaulas or whatever, to keep them warm.
That's right.
We make sure they have adequate bedding to keep warm. We make sure they have enough nutrition, they are well fed, because during the cold season, they use more energy to keep themselves warm, so they need to be adequately fed. So, in brief, that's how we do it, and the kids are the most vulnerable during the cold season.
So, Danny, over to you. What's one unexpected thing you have learned from goat farming?
One unexpected thing.
Unexpected,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yes, what I've learned, as the story I was telling you about, a video I watched.
Yeah.
I watched a video of a gentleman who is a farmer, a goat farmer in Uganda.
Yeah.
And they asked him, how profitable is goat farming? So he said goat farming is profitable than real estate.
Okay.
Yes, and he actually gave the figures, and when I calculated it, it makes sense. And it is true.
Wow.
It is true.
Wow.
These are some of the things we do not understand,
That's
but
right.
it is true.
That's right. So, Sifiso, the last question.
Yes.
Can you share some fun or memorable stories about your goats?
With old age, sometimes the memory starts to fade. But a recent memory and a recent experience I had, and it's funny, because I'm thinking I should have known this. What happened is that 2 years ago, we bought some crossbreeds from a breeder in Gweru. So I don't even know what prompted us to request a visit to go back and visit the farm. So we went on Monday to visit this farm, and they started maybe just a year ahead of us. They are also crossbreeders, and this guy's model is what actually inspired us to do the model that we're doing, because our models are very similar. But the funny thing that happened while we were visiting, Daniel just asked a simple question like, how do you keep your records? How do you keep track of your goats? Especially with crossbreeding, you really have to have your records tight.
That's right.
So the manager starts explaining. He says the numbering system that they have, if it starts with A, that's an F1. If it starts with B, that's an F2. And oh my God, he must have thought I was crazy, because I was jumping up and down for joy. I'm like, oh my God, F2s, we've got that. But when I bought these F2s, I don't know, for some reason, I didn't realize they were F2s. I thought they were F1s. So imagine my excitement. 2 years later, I've had these goats only to discover that they are F2s.
Wow.
So I'm sure you must have thought, does she even know what she's doing? But I realized that then I wasn't that experienced, probably. And of course he would have told me they are F2s. He probably did, but I didn't hear it. I was just so delighted to buy these beautiful goats. So when I discovered I had F2s, I'm like, wow.
Danny, any fun, memorable?
Yes, to me, when we during the kidding season, when the goats are giving birth, it's such, because sometimes I'm not here permanently, so I get reports about how many births we had. So sometimes you have a report that you had 5 births, 5 goats, or 5 kids. And then the next morning it becomes 15. I mean, that's why I say it's your stock market. So all else in the world can excite you so much. So when I get those reports, only heaven knows how many times I open my WhatsApp to read it.
So I'm gonna put you on a spotlight. If you were to change something in Africa or Zimbabwe, what would that be?
Oh wow. Our people's mindset.
Wow.
Yeah, we as a people, we need a mindset shift. In the sense that we need to appreciate what we have. We have so much, but we don't always appreciate just how blessed we are.
That's right, Danny.
Yes, what Sifiso said, mindset is everything that drives our behaviors. And one thing I would change, or I would like to change if I can, is to be able or have an influence in my environment in Africa, whereby nobody who lives in Africa go to bed without food. Because we have so much on this continent.
Very important.
We have so much on this continent. You don't have to be rich to be able to eat.
That's right.
With all the resources we have on this continent, if we change our mindset, the way we view where we come from, and manage our resources properly, nobody will go to bed in Africa on empty stomach.
Did you hear that, the world? Right. Any wise words, especially to the youth out there, about goat farming?
Yes, absolutely. Start young, start early, start with 1 goat.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Start young, start early, start with 1 goat.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yes.
Danny?
Read is very important. Read.
Yeah. Develop a culture of reading.
Develop a culture of reading. Develop a culture of simplicity.
That's right.
We don't have to be rich to do things.
That's right.
Everything should be simple. Just read, learn.
Sorry, can I talk?
Yeah.
A bit?
Learn. Yeah.
Hey, how are you guys?
We're fine, how are you?
Come
How are you?
How are you doing?
Hello, how are you?
How are you?
I'm fine.
I'm forgetting your name. Huh? Tandy, yeah. Tandy, how are you? Yeah.
So that is the one who's been seeking out Uncle GK.
Yeah. Communicate on IG, trying to figure out why is this young lady.
Things are happening.
Yeah. It's good to see you, Tandy.
Yes, it's good to see you too.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Otherwise, you had a good day today?
Yeah, it's good. Thanks. How did you find the farm?
Quite interesting, huh? It was nice, huh? It was nice.
Wow.
Spent a day well spent.
A day well spent.
At Bulembe Farm.
We're glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Quite a big investment over there. The legacy has to continue. So you guys, sorry?
No
I'm saying no pressure.
No pressure.
Precious day. Precious day.
Yeah, so the youngsters, they need to carry on the next torch. Huh? We pass on the torch, and you guys,
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're not feeling cold, Mrs. GK?
No.
Maybe I went up to the first thing I do was pick up a chest.
Oh, is it? And that room. Good evening, guys. Welcome back to the Pest channel. Today I've got Sifiso, the managing director of Bulembe Farm. Sifiso, good evening.
Good evening, GK.
Right. I understand you're having a goat training masterclass on the 15th of September on a Sunday, 2024, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yes.
Can you explain what is it all about, this masterclass?
Right. So basically, this masterclass is in two parts. In the morning, we're going to be covering the theoretical aspect of goat breeding. It's also going to be available online for those people who can attend in person. And then in the afternoon, we're going to have a practical at the farm for those people who are attending in person.
Wow. So, is there any charge for the course?
Yes, there is a charge for the full day, which is the theory, and the practical is $50 US. This includes the tuition, the certificate of attendance, as well as lunch.
Lunch, huh?
Goat lunch.
Yeah. So where is the venue?
The venue, in the morning, we're going to start at Siyaphikelela so that we can facilitate the online aspect. Obviously, network can be a challenge out at the farm, which is a bit out of town. So the venue for the morning session is going to be Siyaphikelela.
Yeah.
And in the afternoon, we're going to go to Manningdale, where we keep our other goats. So it's not exactly at Bulembe Farm in Fort Rixon, but it's in Manningdale, where we keep our other goats.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice. So it's a one-day goat breeding masterclass.
It's a one-day goat breeding masterclass, and it's aimed for everyone, really. Whether you are an accomplished or experienced goat breeder, or you're just beginning and you want to know how you can get started, it's absolutely fine. Or you are an experienced farmer and you need more information, that's also suitable for that.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
So the Harare guys, are you coming to Harare to do the same masterclass?
Yes, absolutely.
Can you tell us the dates and when?
Yes, we're going to be in Harare on Saturday, the 21st of September. And it's in Rainham Farm in Dzivarasekwa. Yes. And the fee is also $50. It includes lunch, certificate of attendance, as well as transport from showgrounds for those people who need transport.
Wow.
Yeah, who need transport from town.
So we're going to talk about, do you believe that the next millionaires will be in farming, especially in Africa?
Absolutely. They are already there.
They're already there?
Yes, yes. I don't know about billionaires, but definitely we know that millionaires are coming out of farming. I don't know about millionaires out of goat breeding, but definitely
Definitely.
You know, we're heading that way. We've seen someone buy a bull for $500,000,
Yes.
and that says a lot.
Yeah.
You know, if it can happen in the cattle breeding industry, naturally it will also happen in the goat breeding industry. In fact, it's already happening in South Africa.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
We are seeing the signs and the trends.
That's right. Area guys, please support Sifiso from Bulembe Farm.
Thank you.
Must be at the goat training masterclass on the 15th of September.
Yes.
Sunday, 2024.
Yes.
9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's only
Yes.
$50.
Only $50, yeah.
You never know. You're going to be a millionaire.
It's definitely a good investment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, we say bye-bye for now. She came into the world. See you in the next. Keep it
Paint
long.
me a
Bye-bye.
scene, city in color, the way that you see, the way you see it. Don't you wish that I could give you everything? 1, 2, 3, and my heart is racing. Can't fall asleep, I got my mind in a throw. Weightless, floating through the day. Trust that I'll be okay.